Well, the Subnautica expansion is fast approaching, and I actually found a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. Ignore all the fish in the background, they're kind of just there doing their own thing, and whatever it is fish do on this planet. Anyways, guys, welcome back to Subnautica. Below zero, I have some conceptual stuff to show you. We also have a look at the Vesper, I guess that giant space station thingy, whatever, that we have not seen so far. Information on the ice worm, and a new quote-unquote Leviathan creature that beforehand was not classed as a Leviathan. And I'm super happy they actually decided to make that change. But first thing I want to do is move into this. This is the newest conceptual art piece posted by Obraxis on the Subnautica Discord server. Now, right off the bat, these things look like they are the plant form of the other creature that we had seen. I don't know the name of it, but it has a similar feel to this thing with its weird wings things. Now, these things look like they're actually watching you, which is kind of weird. I don't know how to feel about this, because like in the middle it looks like an eye, but at the same time part of me is like, no, that can't be an eye, because it's a freaking, it looks like a plant. It doesn't make sense, but then it kind of does because it's Subnautica. So we're not really sure what to think. Also, scanner confirmed, as you can see in the right hand of the female. I'm dumb. You guys get the idea. New concept, new, I guess, alien flora, and I guess a look at the background. Now, I want to make sure you guys know everything is subject to change. Things will and can change, and well, I probably should have said that in reverse, but you get the idea. Things can and will change, and most likely things that you see in this image will change as well. They are just a very general guideline to go off of. So that's that. This also seems to be part of the Arctic mega biome. So that's interesting and all, but I'm going to move into the new Leviathan that we all want to know about. So moving over to the Wikipedia page, we actually have this right here. This guy is the Leviathan. This is the old size of it, and this is the new size of it. So they've basically gone ahead and doubled this thing in size, or maybe even more. This thing is actually about the size of a sea emperor, dare I say. It's definitely bigger than a reaper. Reapers definitely aren't as big as this creature when you compare it to the actual player's size. This thing is... oh god, what does it actually say about it? This Leviathan is among the minority of known specimen on 4546b that are invertebrates. The elements that make up the body resemble that of a eurypterid, while the body shape is shark-like. So more or less, you know what a eurypterid is. Yeah, it's basically a nightmare. You don't want to mess with that. In one concept artwork piece, this creature is labeled, insert C word here that I don't know how to pronounce. The name is taken from the taxonomic classification, insert word I can't say again. Oh god, there's a lot of... I don't want to... You get the idea, okay? I'm sure you can read these out and stuff to yourself, so I don't even need to read it. More or less, Leviathan, new quote-unquote Leviathan, and, well, we don't really know much about it. We're not even sure how aggressive this thing would be. I do know that these mandibles, this could probably snap a Cyclops in half if it grabbed one, so we're probably lucky that we don't have the Cyclops in this case. And now it makes me wonder what's going to happen with the sea truck, because, well... the sea truck isn't really as armored as the Cyclops, and it's not nearly as big. I don't think the sea truck is going to stand a chance if this thing decides to lay down on it. It's not going to be a good time. So those are the two, I guess, quote-unquote big reveals. Now we're going to revisit some things real quick and gather some information about the creatures. From there, I have some, I guess, images of the snow fox that I can show you and its docking pad and stuff, and then we'll move into the biomes and all of the stuff that is, I guess, kind of-ish leaked, but not really leaked. You probably haven't seen this stuff, though, unless you've, like, really dug around through, like, 500 images of crap. Now, I remember a while ago, I actually showed you guys an image of this thing right here, and I wasn't really sure what it was supposed to be. It was just kind of one of those creatures that hung out there, and you didn't really know much about it. Well, luckily, the Wikipedia was updated, and it is a sea monkey. I guess what they want to call a sea monkey. It is a small, intelligent shelled creature prone to mischief. That's kind of interesting. Two small eyes provide depth perception, while a large singular central eye is capable of extreme detail. It swims upside down and can walk on the seabed, land, and its rubbery fins. And obviously the side view of how this thing would move. Its eyes right here for range finding, and then its detailed eye in the middle, and then it kind of swims upside down. It looks really weird. It looks like a giant sea slug with armor. And anyways, so that's cool and all, but there is also another creature that you guys most likely have not seen, and it's, to my knowledge, been iterated on and turned into the penguin that we all know right now. This guy right here, this thing is a very old conceptual piece of the alien penguin, from what I understand. It's something that we didn't actually get to see on the surface, and, well, that's basically that. So that's cool and all, I guess. The penguin is kind of unique. I kind of wish they did add this kind of creature in, even though they have the other penguin now, because it would add some variation. But regardless, I'm going to move into the ice worm now. Now, from what we understand, the ice worm is going to play a larger role in the story of Subnautica Below Zero. And, well, this is basically what the Wikipedia page has to say about it. Now, again, just so you guys know for sure, these things are subject to change, and sometimes doucheholes like to mess with Wikipedia details and mislead people, unfortunately. So take this stuff with a grain of salt and keep your mind open to any changes that may happen to this page in the future. So the general outline is there. It will burst up through the ice and leave holes. And it's more or less it's more of like an event creature where, like, when it happens, you know it happens because it's around you and the ground shakes and it goes through like giant tunnels and stuff like that. It's not like normal in-game creatures. It won't be paying attention to you, and it's more of an obstacle than anything else. Kind of like a hazard you need to try and cross. And obviously it navigates through networks of tunnels and stuff like that too. Speculation as well is that it may grab onto the vehicle you are using, and you have to get out of the vehicle for it to be released. May be attracted to rapid movement or heat. And that's basically that. You can pause the video here if you want to read everything this thing may do. I just kind of looked at the stuff that was interesting enough for me to read out to you in case you don't want to read it and stuff like that. We're going to move into another creature now. Another creature being this right here. So this is the Arctic Ray. Now, do you guys remember in my last Subnautica video, and if you haven't checked that out on the new submarine, I guess sea truck, whatever you want to call it, and its actual like final implementation of the models and stuff like that, go check that out. Because I actually go into detail about the other creatures as well, and we actually get some teasers of the other creatures. But this guy right here is an Arctic Ray. Now, the question was, we saw these four-finned creatures chasing around the other smaller fish and eating them and stuff like that. And I think coming to the conclusion that that was an Arctic Ray is a fairly... I think it's a good statement as far as I'm concerned. And some of the comments actually pointed towards it actually being an Arctic Ray as well. The shape of it actually matches up how it looks in general, matches up the fins, match up. I think we saw an Arctic Ray in-game. So then it's pretty cool that we've seen one of the creatures besides the rock puncher, and I'm sure we've seen others and we just haven't realized it yet. Now, there is something else that I wanted to show you guys that I actually fished up on the Wikipedia page as well, and presumably it is listed under the Arctic expansion Below Zero. This apparently was one of the iterations of a alien creature for the expansion. Now, whether or not this thing made it, I'm not really sure. It resembles some of the creatures that we've seen, but I don't know of any creatures that exactly look like this. So I feel like it's probably not going to be in the DLC. And aside from, I guess, all of the stuff I have shown you, we actually have the rest of the Peeper concepts right here. So these are the Arctic Peepers, and their colors, their variations. I think this one's actually translucent, which is kind of interesting because I've never seen the inside of a Peeper before, and I don't know if I ever did want to see the inside of a Peeper. But anyways, these are the second row of concepts. I think when it comes to the Peepers and how they look, God, it's actually hard to pick out a favorite. Like, I think my favorite of all of these would have to be this guy right here. That one's actually kind of sexy. I like that. It almost has like warning colors on it, like it's poisonous. This one's kind of cool too, but it reminds me of the Oculus fish. Is that it, or is that just the VR headset? It doesn't matter anyways. You get the idea though. These Peepers look cool. Let me know down below in the comments section what one is actually your favorite one, because these are kind of interesting. So basically, you tell me, Selection 1B or Section 2C, you know, or so on and so forth. I want to see what you guys think. What's your favorite? So I know it's a lot of information to take in for the creatures, but that's basically it. I promise. Like, we're not going to look at any more of the creatures and stuff. However, now we're going to look at the Snow Fox and some information about this vehicle. The Snow Fox being the hover bike, as you probably already know. So the Snow Fox is on the Wikipedia page, and it is the hover bike, listed as the hover bike. The name may change, and again, disclaimer, things may change in the Wikipedia and stuff like that too, so yada yada, you get the idea. I'm not liable if this changes and it's completely wrong. Anyways, the ability is unlike the three main vehicles in Subnautica. The Snow Fox is strictly for zooming across the icy terrain of the Arctic megabiome and cannot work over water. Pressing space will cause the Snow Fox to jump, while shift will activate its speed boost. Now, I will say right off the bat, I'm kind of disappointed that this thing can't hover over water. I really wish it was able to, but at the same time, I mean, I guess it's more so for the hovercraft, I think, in a way. I mean, this thing would have to put out some serious power on these little things right here to keep it above water because of the density of the water compared to land and stuff too. And I mean, I don't know how to feel about it though, because I don't want to talk about this anymore. You get the general idea of it. Now we can actually move into some stuff that you probably haven't seen as well. Mainly the Hoverpad. And that is what the Snow Fox is customized on and built on, from what I understand. And obviously these are the upgrades: boost intensity, silent running, power efficiency, acceleration, and maximum speed. Now we move into this right here. I don't know where they got these images. I'm kind of interested to find out how people are finding these images from like in-game stuff, because I'm not aware of anything really being released publicly, at least with these things, but it's kind of interesting to see. So the Hoverpad is a buildable device that is used to construct the Snow Fox. Once a Snow Fox has been built, parking it on the Hoverpad will replenish both its health and its power. Console first used to build the Snow Fox can then be used to recolor and name it. And this obviously is the, I guess, UI, how you change the colors and stuff on a older version of the Hoverpad. And you move over, we have a more crisp in-game screenshot of it, which it's looking a lot nicer. It looks different compared to anything I've seen in Subnautica. And to the side of it, we also have a power source, which is kind of nice. You can see it right here, a better image of it. And right there, you can craft the hover bike. It seems like the hover bike requires titanium, lubricant, and a battery. That's kind of interesting to see that. It probably will change the recipe later on down the road. But for now, knowing the recipe is kind of interesting, and it kind of tells us, you know, like, hey, there might be these materials in the game. So we might actually recycle some of these things. And then the hover bike actually in-game hovering over the hover pad, which is also pretty cool. So let me know your thoughts down below on the hover bike and the Hoverpad. Let's move into some other stuff. So the last thing we're going to move into as far as the vehicles, and then we're going to quickly skim over the biome of Twisty Bridges and how that looks currently in game. But the last thing we're going to look at for the vehicles is the sea truck and its modules, because now we understand how it's made. We have actual videos of this thing in game, as I covered in depth in my last video, and now we get to find out exactly what this thing is about. The Sea Truck cabin is the base module of the Sea Truck vehicle that will be present in the expansion. There are several modules that can be attached to the Sea Truck to form a long chain. Each module serves a different function. Sea Truck modules can be attached to the back of the main compartment and can be linked to each other. The modules can be driven without being attached to the main compartment, but are slower. Then these are the actual modules right now that we get to see: the fabricator module, the storage module, farming module, prawn suit docking module, and the sea truck aquarium module, which we have not actually seen this yet. Now, according to this, the aquarium module is the module that collects any edible fauna that come too close to the module. Captured creatures are transferred into a small glass pod, being visible within. And this is presumably a video on that, but I haven't actually seen any of it. Oh yeah, I've already shown you guys this. This is just, yeah, we can't see them in the glass pod yet. This is in the old sea truck too, so that's not a big deal. So then that's basically it for the sea truck and all of the information on that lovely thing. I almost forgot to show you guys the Vesper, actually, because it's actually a really big part of the game. I can't believe I forgot that. So moving in, the Vesper is an installation that will be present in Subnautica below zero. It will orbit planet 4546b to serve as a base for research personnel, including the main protagonist of the expansion. There is currently no concept art of the Vesper itself. The crew aboard the Vesper will provide assistance through dialogue with the player, as well as occasionally dropping supply crates. And this is the only image we have seen yet of the Vesper space station, I guess is what you would call it. I like how teeny weeny Vesperini. Nice, that's cool. So yeah, it's just basically a tiny speck in the sky from what I can see right now. Kind of interesting, and I really want to see the Altera fleet too that they've been talking about adding. That's going to be kind of cool. So the mission parameters were forensic examination and recovery of Aurora wreckage, biomedical research, ecological preservation, resource exploration, and then a classified unknown mission within the expansion. We're not sure yet what's going to happen. We're hoping it's going to be something interesting. There's probably going to be some monstrously big mission on top of everything else. Pretty cool so far, right? But it's too much information to take in one sitting. So I'm going to move into the last sets of things that I have to show you right now, and that is of the Twisty Bridges biome. So right here we have Arctic kelp that is bioluminescent in some way. Now, I'm not sure if this is in the Twisty Bridges biome or not, but I thought it was kind of cool. I wanted to show you guys this, so I showed you it. We move into the Twisty Bridges, where you can see the bioluminescence going up these, I guess, Twisty Bridges, as it's called. And I guess overall, it's a pretty open, but also filled area. It's open, but it's not too open. They have all kinds of bridges and stuff like that. There's plenty of places for flora and fauna to just, I guess, branch out everywhere and do their own thing. Moving into another screenshot, you can see right here too, there is a ton of open space, but at the same time, there's also these things right here. And don't forget, we saw our pink little friend with the giant spike on his ass. Yeah, he's around here too somewhere. You don't want to mess with that thing. And this is an actual in-game screenshot as well. It seems to be more polished with the light shafts going down through the water and all that fancy stuff. And that concludes everything I have for you on the Subnautica expansion. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section and everything you have seen in this video. Let me know what you think about the Leviathan class creature that we now know as a Leviathan, which is great. And that's basically it. You guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.